Hey guys, Ryan here. Whoa, what do you think you're doing? This is hey, you're awesome. You know, if I was gay, you would be the man I would die for. But this is my show. You sit over there. You take Wolvie's head, and here's your sippy cup. It's good to have you on the show. Finally, finally answer my emails for once. Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin. Deadpool and Wolverine stars Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Wolverine is recovering from his injuries when he crosses paths with the loudmouth Deadpool. They team up to defeat a common enemy. So Deadpool and Wolverine, what about the popcorn? No, shh, do not talk about the white stuff. Shut, I did not. So Deadpool and Wolverine is probably the hypest movie of the year, and it honestly needs to be a win for Marvel with the big losses that Disney's been taking with a lot of their properties. Acolyte. This movie needed to be really good, and especially when you're bringing back Hugh Jackman, the man himself that started this whole entire universe. And so I was really looking forward to this. And I had a blast with Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie was just a lot of fun, and like it was really funny. Like the comedy was hit like on beat with everything. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they just have a great chemistry. And the director, was it Stephen Lee? I have no idea what's his name. Fantastic director. Like I think the chemistry between all the three of these guys really worked well, and it makes sense because Ryan Reynolds did like two other films with them. I know one of them was The Fall Guy, not The Fall Guy. That's a different Ryan. Sorry, he did do Free Guy, and that movie was a lot of fun. And they let Ryan Reynolds and his team just go all out in this movie. This movie is just fucking nuts, and I would say it's better than the previous two. A lot of interesting camera shots, a lot of fun action set pieces in this movie. The opening action sequence in this movie is a ton of fun. I had a blast with this movie opening. Like it's probably the best opening in all of the Deadpool films, or even the best Marvel opening in general that we've had in years. Hugh Jackman is once again great as Wolverine. I can't see anyone else playing Wolverine. I don't know who else they would pick over Hugh Jackman, especially after these certain cameos that we do see in this movie, which I'm not going to talk about, but they were awesome cameos. And they do have a certain purpose in the film. Now there's maybe I would say a select few cameos that could were basically like, hey, I'm here type of deal. But even the ones that were like, hey, I'm here, I'm back for a split second, were still had some form of purpose, but slightly less purpose than the other cameos, which they hid from a lot of people, which I'm shocked. When certain characters popped up in the film, I'm like, how did they keep this quiet? How the fuck did they keep this quiet? That's fucking awesome. And even one character showing up, it's kind of feels like almost like insulting in some ways. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It was still cool to see that character show up. But now what about the story? How does this interact with the MCU as a whole? The only thing really that interacts with this movie when it comes to the MCU is the TVA. And at first it did feel forced into the film. So the way that they get Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds into basically going on to this adventure kind of felt forced in. I was like, oh, okay, are we going to learn anything else about this? And that whole entire subplot was just dropped. It was never ever mentioned ever again. And it was like, okay, so that was just a way to interject the TVA and interject the MCU into the Fox universe. I mean, after we got past that point, I was like, okay, whatever. I kind of just forgot about it and just enjoyed the film, because even then, the movie still told an interesting story, and mostly like an interesting story from a redemption standpoint, not just for Wolverine, and from the hints of what he went through in on his previous world. Deadpool himself even went through a redemption arc in this film, about being a superhero, because in the previous films, he kind of just fought for himself. In the second one, when he went back in time to undo certain events in that one, that was even like a selfish thing for himself. The story for this movie actually really worked very well, and you could really grasp onto the story, and even this new Wolverine, who is somewhat still similar to the Wolverine that we've watched all the way up to Logan. It's just a different. At some point in the Fox universe, would have taken a different turn. They do dive into what happened on his world that let everyone down, but the explanation of that not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. It was just more of like, oh, okay, yeah, that sucks. I feel bad, but I was thinking of something on the more of like a more of a tense level. The choice that they went for was like, okay, I'm really buying the performance of Hugh Jackman and his motives, and so I really liked what they did. I just expected probably something a little bit different. I think this movie is a win-win for a lot of people, especially when it comes to the cameos. I wish there were some other cameos in the film that I was kind of hoping for, but they didn't do that. But I am very happy with the cameos that they went for, and they honestly, the cameos that they picked worked for the story, and that's what the one thing they were talking about. It's like these cameos aren't just cameos; they actually work with what they were doing, and that is a true statement that they've been saying. They do have their factor into the film a lot. So I highly recommend you guys checking out Deadpool and Wolverine this weekend. If you have nothing else to see, I'm going to give Deadpool Wolverine an A-. I had a blast. The only, honestly, really big negatives I have had with it was that trying to, when it decided to have Fox and the MCU clash together, that was kind of like the awkward stage of the film. And X Wolverine's little backstory that kind of felt wishy-washy, but I still, at the end, I still liked it somewhat. I did wish that they kind of went with a different direction, at least more of a darker direction than what they did go with it. Any word, Ryan?
I am soaking wet right now.
But yeah, go really check this film out. It is a ton of fun. And if you haven't seen it yet, be aware of spoilers in the comment section below or anywhere on social media. And I'm really trying to be careful on what I say, because I don't want to spoil a lot any of this movie for any of you guys. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. And like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.